What makes evidence inadmissible in a criminal defense case? Imagine sitting in a courtroom, eager to see the truth come out. But not all evidence the prosecution wants to use is allowed. What makes some evidence off-limits? That's what we're here to find out. Evidence has to follow strict rules to be considered in court. The first thing judges look at is relevance. If the evidence doesn't connect to the case or doesn't help prove or disprove something important, it gets thrown out. Courts want to focus only on facts that matter, not distractions. Another big reason evidence becomes inadmissible is how it was obtained. If police break the law when collecting evidence, like searching a home without a warrant or probable cause, that evidence can be excluded. This is called the exclusionary rule. It protects your constitutional rights and keeps the process fair. Hearsay is also a common reason evidence is rejected. Hearsay is when someone talks about what someone else said outside of court. It's usually not allowed because the person who made the statement isn't there to be questioned. There are exceptions, but generally, courts prefer direct evidence. Defense lawyers often object to hearsay to prevent unreliable secondhand stories from influencing the jury. Physical evidence must be handled carefully. If there are gaps in the chain of custody, which is the record of who had the evidence and when, the evidence might be excluded. This is to make sure the evidence hasn't been tampered with or altered. If the chain isn't clear, the evidence's reliability can be questioned. Evidence about a person's character or past bad acts is usually not allowed to show they acted badly this time. The law wants to avoid judging someone based on their reputation or history rather than what they did in this case. There are some exceptions, but generally, this type of evidence is kept out. Even if evidence is relevant, it can still be inadmissible if it might unfairly prejudice the jury or confuse the issues. For example, graphic photos or personal details that don't directly relate to the case might be excluded to keep the trial fair. Certain communications are protected by privilege. For instance, conversations between a lawyer and their client or between a doctor and patient are confidential. These privileged communications can't be used as evidence without permission. Defense attorneys often file motions to exclude evidence that doesn't meet these standards. If they succeed, it can weaken the prosecution's case or even lead to charges being dropped. For example, if evidence was gathered illegally, a motion to suppress can keep it out of court. By understanding these rules, defense teams work to make sure only fair, reliable evidence is used. This helps protect your rights and keeps the trial honest. Evidence that is irrelevant, illegally obtained, hearsay, improperly handled, prejudicial, or privileged can all be kept out. This way, the case is built on solid ground, giving everyone a fair shot.